How will this evil cybernetic snapping turtle stack up to our turtles? I guess there's only one way to find out. You say Sla'ker, I say Sla'ker. This is the Faker and Slash combo from the Turtles of Grayskull. This is the third deluxe figure we've gotten from this line so far, and the second one to include figures for the Metal Bato Build-A-Figure. This one is another Target exclusive, just like the mouse jaw that had the other parts, so I'm guessing all of the Target versions are the ones that are going to have the Build-A-Figure. Could be wrong though. Always incredible artwork on these figures, but especially this back piece. Here you can see him teaming up with Skeletor and Shredder for a seriously impressive scene. There's also a little bio on the back that confirms that this is a mutated version of Faker, and they were created using the same mutagen that made Slash in the first place. Kind of interesting. Another cool pic on the side, love how it pops off of that purple background. But enough box talk, let's check out what comes inside. First thing you get, just like all the other deluxe figures, is this nice sturdy trading card. It mentions all the primary features of the original characters, Faker and Slash, including the ooze for brains for Slash. We get two Build-A-Figure parts for that upcoming Metal Bato figure. The head looks really close to the original Metalhead figure from back in the day, but it has this kind of mouth guard feature. It's definitely not a chrome or vac metal, but it is pretty shiny. It does not, however, use a ball joint for the neck, so we can't really swap it with other figures. We also get the upper leg midsection portion, which again we can't really do much with yet, but it's a nice representation of the color scheme we're going to see going forward when we get new parts. It seems like the scale is going to be a lot closer to the Turtles instead of the deluxe figures. Here's the figure itself right out of the package. I definitely like the color scheme they chose with that light blue, bright purple, and bright pink. You can definitely tell his favorite NBA team is the Charlotte Hornets. And it comes separate in the package, but you also get this gigantic spiky shell. Like the others we've seen in the line so far, it does double as a shell shield. We get matching spiked daggers that are very reminiscent of the original vintage figure. Lots of fun molded details in there. And here's a turnaround of Sla'ker all decked out with the accessories. This one is way bigger than I expected it to be, but I am definitely not mad about it. He is absolutely going to be a standout in the line. Taking a closer look at some of the details, you can see his head sculpt is a lot like that original vintage figure. Two different size eyes, those coarse teeth. You can move the bandana around a little bit if you want to. He has these huge spiky shoulder pads that are looking good. Also removable if you pop the arms off. You can see his robotic guts on his chest through that shell that's broken. Some spiky two-toed boots, a nice furry loincloth and pink belt, and then on the back of the shell, you can use that compartment to hold one of the daggers. And here's a closer look at that back with the shell removed in case you want to use it as a shield up front. Overall, lots of cool details. Of course, one of the more unique features of this line is that you can swap out pretty much all of the parts, and you can remove that front shell harness for a closer look at those robotic parts. And yes, those two do look like little pizzas. Pretty neat. For articulation, we don't really get anything new with this figure. It is a little bit bigger than the other Turtles, but it seems to do the same stuff. Just about 90 degrees at the elbow, a horizontal hinge at the wrist. It would be nice if he could look down a little bit more since he's so tall, but I'm not mad about it. Enough movement at the knee without going overboard, and you get a lot of options with the feet. You get a little up and down and a full twist all the way around. I haven't had any trouble standing him up so far. All in all, pretty solid articulation. Here's a quick look of Sla'ker with that shell shield, which I honestly didn't think I would ever use, but seeing it now, it looks pretty good. His closest comparison in the line so far is probably Krang. They share a lot of the same body parts, but Krang stands a little bit taller with that brain in the middle. He absolutely towers over Mousejaw, which makes me really surprised that this was a deluxe figure to begin with. It would probably make more sense for him to be the same size as He-Man because of the Faker connection, but I'm glad they chose to go with a gigantic Slash. As for turtle comparisons, here he is next to Leonardo, and here he is next to Donatello. I really like how the color schemes complement each other on all these figures. I think they're looking great. And for all you Slash collectors out there, here's some quick comparisons with some other modern figures. He's a bit bigger than the NECA Archie Slash, but it's good to have some size variety on the shelf. Speaking of size variety, he absolutely towers over the cartoon Slash from NECA, although I've heard rumblings we're getting a deluxe figure of that one soon, so hopefully that's true. The closest comparison in size is probably the Super 7 Ultimate version. You can really see how some of the details are very close to that original figure here. And just because I like to show it off whenever possible, here he is next to my Super 7 Ultimate repaint. It's the exact same sculpt as the one I just showed, but just different colors. I like it. And of course, you know we gotta show off some quick part swaps. Here's Leo with that massive Slash shell, looking good with the light blue. I thought it was gonna look really good with Donnie, but I think those two purples just clash a little bit too much. I don't know, I'm not feeling it. Of course, you could always give him a little bit more brain power with that Krang in the middle. Or maybe you thought mutated He-Man just wasn't big enough, so you had those Sla'ker arms and legs. No turtle can mess with him now. So let me know what you think of this brand new figure from Mattel's Turtles of Grayskull. The most important question I have is, are you going to pronounce it Sla'ker or Sla'ker? I'm definitely going with Sla'ker, but to each their own. As for where this ranks in the line for me so far, it's definitely up there with Krang. I'll have to sit on it a little bit to see which one's my absolute favorite. Remember, this one is a Target exclusive, so you should see him on the shelves pretty soon, if not already. And thanks again for watching yet another unboxing. Let me know what you think of this line and this figure down in the comments below, and feel free to like, follow, and share. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.